The Miss Supranational 2026 competition has officially begun. The opening ceremony has now given us our very first look at all of this year's contestants. And while it's still very early in the competition, I think we can already identify some women who are making a strong first impression. Now, before anyone comes for me in the comments, let me be clear. This is not my final prediction for the competition. This is simply based on the opening ceremony, how they carried themselves, how confidently they spoke, their stage presence, charisma, and whether they gave us a memorable first impression. Some contestants exceeded my expectations. Some surprised me, and there are definitely a few dark horses that I think people are seriously sleeping on. So today, let's talk about the 20 contestants who stood out the most during the Miss Supranational 2026 opening ceremony. If you're new to the channel, welcome! Here we cover everything happening in the world of beauty pageants, from Miss Universe and Miss World to Miss Supranational and everything in between. So if that's your kind of content, don't forget to subscribe, because we're going to be covering the entire Miss Supranational journey right up to the final night. Now let's get into it. The very first thing I noticed was that some contestants didn't need flashy introductions to capture attention. They simply walked onto the stage, smiled, spoke with confidence, and immediately looked like contenders. And that's something you simply cannot teach. Let's start with Namibia. Namibia delivered one of my favorite introductions of the night. Her message about not being defined by a crown, but by becoming an ambassador for the world, felt authentic and mature. She looked calm, confident, and incredibly comfortable on stage. Nothing felt forced. For me, she already carries herself like someone who's here for the long run. Another contestant who immediately impressed me was South Africa. Shannon delivered one of the most heartfelt introductions of the evening. Her speaking skills were excellent, and I absolutely loved how she spoke about motherhood. She reminded women that becoming a mother doesn't mean your dreams have to end. It was personal, it was inspiring, and it made people remember her. Nigeria also deserves a mention. She projected confidence from the very beginning. She spoke with conviction about representing the giant of Africa and introduced her Bloom Within initiative with clarity and purpose. She looked polished and prepared. Those are exactly the qualities judges tend to notice early in the competition. One thing that separates good contestants from great contestants is communication. Miss Supranational places a huge emphasis on personality and interviews. So whenever someone speaks confidently and naturally, I immediately pay attention. Portugal completely impressed me. Her speech felt emotional without sounding rehearsed. When she said that our mouths speak what our hearts are full of, and that her heart is full of dreams and love, it genuinely felt like she believed every word. Canada also delivered one of the strongest introductions. As a psychiatric nurse and mental health advocate, she shared a very personal story that instantly connected with viewers. You could hear the passion in her voice. Pakistan was another standout. Her speech celebrated the strength of Pakistani women, while also sharing the inspiring story of her own mother. It felt authentic rather than scripted. Those are the moments that make contestants memorable. Now let's talk about contestants whose personal journeys immediately stood out. Latvia probably had one of the most emotional introductions of the evening. She revealed that just 10 months ago, she received a kidney transplant. Today, she's standing on an international stage representing her country. That's an incredible story of resilience. United Kingdom also really moved me. She shared that she competed for the Miss United Kingdom title for 4 years while overcoming selective mutism. That level of perseverance deserves respect. Puerto Rico's transformation journey was equally inspiring. She shared that she lost 78 pounds. But more importantly, she explained that her journey wasn't really about weight. It was about self-confidence and self-love. That's a message many people can relate to. Not every standout needs the loudest speech. Sometimes contestants simply have that presence. Philippines once again looked incredibly polished. She wasn't over the top. She remained elegant, warm, and approachable. India delivered a confident and well-balanced introduction. Indonesia also looked incredibly natural and relaxed on stage. Then there's Czech Republic. Besides representing her country beautifully, she's developing a hair care brand for oncology patients, while also running a charity foundation. That combination of business and compassion immediately caught my attention. Romania was another contestant I quietly enjoyed. She shared her story as a flight attendant and spoke beautifully about spreading her wings, not only for herself, but for her country. Simple, elegant, very memorable. My early dark horses. Every year, Miss Supranational has contestants who aren't necessarily the favorites at the beginning, but slowly build momentum. For me, those women include Denmark, Norway, Iceland, Ghana, and Gibraltar. These contestants may not be getting all the headlines right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if one or two of them become major contenders over the next few weeks. That's exactly why I love Miss Supranational. The competition isn't won during the opening ceremony. It's won over 3 weeks through consistency. My early top 5. Now, if I had to choose just 5 contestants who impressed me the most after this opening ceremony, this would be my list. At number 5, the Philippines. Elegant, polished, and effortlessly charming. At number 4, Portugal. One of the strongest speakers of the evening. At number 3, South Africa. Beautiful message. Excellent communication. Very memorable. At number 2, Nigeria. Confident, articulate, and already showing leadership qualities. And my biggest standout after the opening ceremony? Namibia. She wasn't the loudest contestant. She didn't try too hard. She simply came across as genuine, confident, and completely comfortable in her own skin. For me, that's exactly the kind of contestant who often goes very far at Miss Supranational. Of course, this is only the very beginning of the competition. We still have Super Chat, challenge events, fashion shows, swimsuit competition, preliminary competition, and so much more to come. And trust me, my rankings will definitely change. Now I want to hear from you. Who impressed you the most during the opening ceremony? Did I leave anyone out? And who is your current favorite to win Miss Supranational 2026? Leave your top 5 down in the comments below, because I always enjoy reading your predictions. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next Miss Supranational update. Until then, take care, and I'll see you soon.